Tonight's 7 players are preparing for the show where just one of them will be taking home the prize money of up to £20,000. The rest will leave with nothing as their teammates vote them the weakest link.
Welcome to the weakest link. Any of the 7 people in the studio here tonight could win up to £20,000. They don't know each other, however. If they want the prize money, they'll have to work as a team. But 6 of them will leave with nothing, as round by round we lose the player voted the weakest link. Let's meet the team.
I'm Tamara, I'm 28 and I'm a customer services manager from London.
I'm Marjorie, I'm 53 and I'm a retired marketing services manager from Ryther in North Yorkshire.
I'm Greg, I'm a 29-year-old banking administrator from Ipswich.
I'm Sharon, I'm 31, I'm a lecturer in art and design and I live in Bournemouth.
I'm Stuart, I'm 56, I'm a retired investment banker from Cheam in Surrey.
I'm Sarah, I'm 43 and I'm a housewife from Cheshire.
My name is Jeff, I'm 36 and I'm a student from Southampton.
Now the rules in each round, the aim is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your £2,500 target within the time limit. The fastest way is to create a chain of 7 correct answers. Get your question wrong and you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say bank before the question is asked, the money is safe. However, you start a new chain from scratch. Remember, at the end of the round, only money that has been banked can be taken forward. In round 1, there are 2.5 minutes on the clock. We'll start with the person whose name is first alphabetically. That's you, Greg. Let's play the weakest link. The first question is for £50. Start the clock. Greg, in comics, what is the name of Batman's masked sidekick?
Robin.
Correct. Sharon. What W is a legal document detailing someone's wishes in the event of their death?
A will.
Correct. Stuart. In which English city is the building known as Canary Wharf Tower?
London.
Correct. Sarah. According to the saying, someone inoffensive and harmless wouldn't hurt what type of creature?
A fly.
Correct. Jeff. In British politics, what sex were the suffragettes?
Women.
Correct. Tamara, in
Bank.
the children's rhyme, how far did the crooked man walk?
A crooked mile.
Correct. Marjorie, complete the lyric from Mud's 1974 hit single, That's Neat, I Really Love Your Tiger, what?
Face, feet.
Feet. No, I have to accept your first answer. Greg, in nature, what pea is the name given to the seed of an apple?
Pip.
Correct. Sharon, in human biology, cataracts cause problems with which part of the body?
Eyes.
Correct. Stuart, the word unilateral means relating to how many sides?
All sides.
1. Sarah, what was the name of the 1968 film starring Dick Van Dyke about a man who invents a flying car?
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Correct. Jeff, in politics, Dennis Healey is associated with which party?
Labour.
Correct. Tamara, in the animal kingdom, what P is the name given to a social group of lions?
Pride.
Correct. Marjorie, in human biology, an inability to distinguish between certain colours is known as colour what?
Blindness.
Correct. Greg, what end are the spectacular falls which are a tourist attraction in Ontario, Canada?
Niagara.
Correct. Sharon.
Bank.
In the animal kingdom, a parakeet is a small member of which bird family?
Parrot.
Correct. Stuart, in fashion, trousers that flare from the knee are commonly known as bell what?
Bottoms.
Correct. Sarah, what type of creature is a grey mullet?
Fish.
Correct. Jeff, in history, in which country was the bushranger Ned Kelly born?
America.
Australia. Tamara, in card games, another name for 21 is black what?
Jack.
Correct. Marjorie, in literature, which young wizard's only family are Uncle Vernon, Auntie Petunia and Cousin Dudley?
Pass.
Harry Potter. Greg, the word ovate refers to anything shaped like a what?
Egg.
Correct. Sharon, who did Prince Andrew marry in July 1986?
Fergie. Sarah
Yes, I'll
Ferguson.
accept. Sarah Ferguson. Stuart,
Bank.
in music, the tuba and cornet belong to which orchestral family of wind instruments?
The brass instrument.
Correct. Sarah, in food, which meringue dessert is named after a Russian dancer?
Pavlova.
Correct. Jeff,
Bank.
in TV, which alien... Time is up. And you managed to bank £2,200 out of a possible £2,500. But who is already worrying you? Who is too slow to stay? Who would it be a disaster to keep on the team? One of you is about to leave with nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
After a successful first round, Sharon is the strongest link. The statistics show that Marjorie is the weakest link. But at this early stage of the game, will the other players have picked up on this?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Marjorie.
Stuart.
Marjorie.
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 Tamara, pleased with your performance so far?
Fairly pleased, yes.
Had enough of Marjorie?
Well, she had to go. Someone's got to go and it had to be her.
Why?
Because she got 2 questions wrong. The one I thought was unforgivable was the one about Harry Potter.
Stuart, remind us what you do.
I'm retired, but I was an investment banker.
You were an investment banker. And you have to go to university to be an investment banker?
It does help, yes.
Did you go to university?
No, I didn't.
I didn't think you did, because you don't know what unilateral means, do you?
No, I was staggered at. I've learnt something tonight.
Do you think a unicycle has 4 wheels, Stuart?
Not anymore, Anne.
Why Marjorie?
Well, I'm afraid she was the one person that got 2 questions wrong, and it is the weakest link. She has to go.
Marjorie, who turned out to be a Harry Potter free zone.
Yes.
With 6 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I'm absolutely furious with myself. I can't believe that I said face instead of feet. And then, although I've never read Harry Potter, I should have guessed it. I just feel a complete idiot.
Round 2, team. So far, you've won £2,200 out of a possible £2,500. There are 6 of you left. We are now taking 10 seconds off the clock. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Sharon. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Sharon, which execution device was adopted as the standard form of capital punishment in France during the Revolution?
Guillotine.
Correct. Stuart, what B is a 3-letter word that can mean to fight or a container often made of cardboard?
Box.
Correct. Sarah, in nature, how many times in 1 month does the moon revolve around the Earth?
Once.
Correct. Jeff, in science, what is measured in watts, power or energy?
Power.
Correct. Tamara, according to the proverb, what is stranger than fiction?
Pass.
Truth. Greg, in theatre, Joseph Grimaldi was known for being what, a clown or musician?
Clown.
Correct. Sharon, in nature, what is a Venus flytrap?
Plant.
Correct. Stuart, what is the surname of the famous American fashion designer Calvin?
Klein.
Correct. Sarah, in which country of the UK is Conway Castle?
Wales.
Correct. Jeff.
Bank.
In TV comedy, Richard Wilson played which grumpy character in One Foot in the Grave?
Victor Meldrew.
Correct. Tamara, in pop music, which former member of the Beatles had a 1983 UK hit album entitled Pipes of Peace?
Paul McCartney.
Correct. Greg, in electrical circuits, what R is the name of the device that opposes the current flow?
Pass.
Resistor. Sharon, in sport, what is the name of the late Formula One champion Graham Hill's son?
Stuart Hill.
Damon. Stuart, in film, complete the title of the 1992 Australian film about dancing, Strictly What?
Ballroom.
Correct. Sarah, in Denmark, is the head of state a monarch, president or prime minister?
A monarch.
Correct. Jeff, in which British city would you find the Nightingale School and Home for Nurses founded by Florence Nightingale in 1860?
Liverpool.
London. Tamara, in biology, the term auditory refers to which sense?
Hearing.
Correct. Greg, in maths, if a used car salesman buys a car for £1,230 and sells it for £1,750, how much profit has he made?
£530.
No, 520. Sharon, in music, what name is given to a composition for 5 instruments or voices?
Quintet.
Correct. Stuart, who
Thanks.
starred as Catherine Trammell in the 1992 film Basic Instinct?
Sharon Stone.
Correct. Sarah,
Thanks.
in meteorology, sheet and forked are types of what?
Lightning.
Correct.
Bang.
Jeff, in human biology, by what name are the deciduous teeth which we lose before adulthood more commonly known? Time is up. The correct answer is milk teeth. And that was pretty disastrous. Having got rid of Marjorie and punishing her because she knew nothing about Harry Potter, you managed to put into the kitty a pathetic, embarrassing, miserable £650. Whose wheels have fallen off? Who's lost their nerve? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Sarah is the strongest link according to the statistics. Greg is the weakest link. But will the voting follow the facts?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Greg.
Tamara.
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 Greg.
Greg.
We have a tie team. Tamara and Greg, 3 votes each. Greg,
Yes,
remind me what you do.
I work in a bank.
You work in a bank. What do you do in the bank?
Count things.
You don't count money, do you?
More numbers than money.
The point is you can't count, Greg. I mean, I asked you a simple piece of arithmetic. Do you do arithmetic in banks?
At times, yeah.
So Greg, who can't count, who works in a bank, why did you vote for Tamara?
So I knew she got a question wrong when I was about to bank off. She got that.
Tamara got 1 question wrong. How many did you get wrong?
2.
Good. Tamara, what do you do?
I work in a bank. I'm a customer services manager.
This is very, very worrying for bank customers. Why did you vote for Greg?
Because he got 2 wrong, if I can count correctly.
Okay. Well, when the vote is tied, the strongest link has to cast the deciding vote. Sarah, you have actually voted for Greg, but having heard the evidence of these 2 incredibly bright people, which one do you want to ditch?
I'll stick with Greg.
Why?
Because he got 2 wrong.
Because he got 2 wrong. Greg, it hardly needs saying. You are the weakest link.
I don't think I did myself justice because I do think that I am as intelligent as the other people there. And a question came along and just threw me out of kilter. I think Jeff might be voted off next because he's getting a few questions wrong.
Round 3, team. So far you have won £2,850 out of a possible 5,000. You are down to 5 players. We're taking another 10 seconds off the clock. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Sarah. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Sarah, in the animal kingdom, which is the only species of bear to inhabit the Arctic sea ice?
The polar bear.
Correct, Jeff. Of which Australian state is Perth the capital?
New South Wales.
Western Australia. Tamara, in music, Supersonic was the first UK hit single for which Manchester-based pop group in 1994?
Blur.
Oasis. Sharon, in film, which Hollywood actor was credited as Arnold Strong in his 1970 film debut?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Correct. Stuart, in folklore, around what type of tree in the heart of Sherwood Forest did Robin Hood reputedly gather his merry men?
Oak tree.
Correct. Sarah, in sport, which Greek city first hosted the modern Olympics in 1896?
Athens.
Correct.
Bank.
Jeff, in music, the saxophone belongs to which family of wind instruments?
Brass.
Woodwind. Tamara, the wreck of which famous British liner was discovered in the North Atlantic in September 1985?
Mary Rose.
The Titanic. Sharon, in science, an arrangement of elements placed in order of increasing atomic number is known as a periodic what?
Table.
Correct. Stuart, in the Bible, Jesus' life story is told in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and who else?
John.
Correct. Sarah,
Bank.
what J is the name of Lewis Carroll's nonsense verse about a fictitious monster in the novel Through the Looking Glass?
Pass.
Jabberwocky. Jeff, in pop music, Anyone Who Had a Heart was a UK #1 hit single in 1964 for which British entertainer?
Lulu.
Cilla Black. Tamara, in travel, Orly is an international airport in which European city?
Paris.
Correct. Sharon,
Bank.
in the animal kingdom, what D is a name for a female goat?
Dane.
Doe. Stuart, in history, was Edward the Confessor king of England before or after the Norman conquest?
Before.
Correct. Sarah,
Bank.
in geography, on which continent would you find the capital city of Nairobi?
African.
Correct, Jeff. What is the first name of Julie Garland's and Vincenti Minnelli's only daughter?
Lisa.
Correct.
Bank.
Tamara, in cricket, what is the name for the line or rope which marks where the field of play ends?
Pitch.
The boundary. Sharon, in pop music, who had a 1991 UK #1 hit with I'm the One and Only? The correct answer is Chesney Hawkes. And after all that work, you put into the kitty just £550. Who has now buckled under the pressure? Who should be stopped in their tracks? Who is an embarrassment to the rest of you? It's time to vote off.
Stuart was the only player to answer all of his questions correctly, making him the strongest link. Tamara is the weakest link statistically. But who will lose out in the vote?
OK, voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Jeff.
Jeff.
Tamara.
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 Stuart, the investment banker. You've woken up a bit.
Just a bit, yes. I don't think I've got one wrong that round.
Well, maybe you haven't woken up because you haven't got any wrong in that round.
Well, there we are.
Why Tamara?
Because she got 3 wrong, so did Jeff, but somebody's got to go.
Jeff! Why Tamara?
I think I was bad, but I think she was very bad.
Well, hard to choose, isn't it? You got as many questions wrong as she did.
Oh, but I've done some banking.
Tamara, with 3 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
The walk of shame is the ultimate humiliation. It's the worst part of the show, and it's the bit that I was least looking forward to, and I was hoping that I wouldn't have to do it. But I think in the end that they were justified in voting me off, unfortunately.
Round 4, so far you've banked £3,400 out of potential prize money of £7,500. There are 4 of you left. We are taking another 10 seconds off the clock. You now have only 2 minutes. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Stuart. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Stuart, in film, Bo Peep, Slinky Dog and Mr. Potato Head are all characters from which 1995 comedy animation?
Toy Story.
Correct, Sarah. Which famous explorer discovered the island of Hispaniola in 1492?
Cook.
No, Christopher Columbus. Jeff, at which event did Sally Gunnell win an Olympic gold in 1992?
400 metres hurdle.
Correct, Sharon. In geography, in which North American country are the Caribou Mountains situated?
Canada.
Correct, Stuart. In the TV sitcom Bottom, which actor played Richie Richard?
Rick Mail.
Correct, Sarah. In music, which opera did Verdi write about the conflicts of love and royal duty? Don Carlos or Don Giovanni?
Don Giovanni.
Don Carlos. Jeff. In film, the title of the 1969 musical starring Shirley MacLaine and Sammy Davis Jr. is Sweet What?
Little Girl.
Charity. Sharon. In music, Sheng, Tang, Xing and Chow are the 4 main character types in traditional opera from which country?
China.
Correct, Stuart. What are is a famous British press agency that was founded in London in 1851 and is among the largest in the world?
Reuters.
Correct, Sarah.
Bank.
In the animal kingdom, what is the general name given to female adult whales?
Pass.
Cows. Jeff. Which Irving Welsh novel features characters named Renton, Sick Boy and Begbie?
Trainspotting.
Correct, Sharon. In pop music, which singer from Southampton was nominated 6 times at the 2001 Brit Awards but won nothing?
Craig David.
Correct, Stuart.
Bank.
In British politics, what name is given to the area that an MP represents?
Constituency.
Correct, Sarah. In art, Hieronymus Bosch painted the Garden of Earthly what?
Pass.
Delights. Jeff, in which part of the human body are the bones called metacarpals found?
Hands.
Correct, Sharon. In which country's military would you find the elite anti-terrorist unit called Delta Force?
Italy.
United States. Stuart, in football, which London Premiership team? Time is up, and you only scraped together £450. Who do you most want to get rid of? Who is an embarrassment? Who is too stupid to stay? It's time to vote off.
Once again, Stuart was the only player to answer all of his questions correctly, making him the strongest link for the second time. Sarah answered all of her questions incorrectly, making her the weakest link, although she did bank money for the team. But will it be enough to save her when it comes to the vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Sarah.
Sarah.
Jeff. Sarah.
Stuart, you've still only answered a single question incorrectly.
Not so bad then.
Do you know another way of saying single?
Unilateral, I believe, is the answer, eh?
Oh, and you've even learnt something since you got here.
Education's a wonderful thing.
Why Sarah?
I'm afraid she got 3, maybe 4 wrong, I'm afraid, that round, so it has to be Sarah.
4, actually. Sharon, remind us what you do.
I'm a lecturer in art and design. And
Oh. Have you designed anything you're wearing today?
unfortunately, no.
Sarah not chic enough for you?
Nothing to do with chic, just to do
Oh,
with
really?
wrong answers.
Wrong answers. There were plenty of those, weren't there? So far, she couldn't answer questions on music, art, literature, history, nature. With 3 votes, you are the weakest link. Ah.
My performance was appalling in the last round. I got all 4 questions wrong. I don't think Jeff has much knowledge. He's not as strong as the others, and I think probably Sharon will win.
Round 5, team. Your total so far is £3,850, but if you'd hit your targets, it would be £10,000. There are only 3 of you left and another 10 seconds coming off the time. We start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Stuart. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Stuart, in music, what C is to perform songs in a smooth, soft, sentimental style?
Croon.
Correct, Jeff. In the New Testament, the day the angel Gabriel told Mary that she was to conceive a son is known as the Feast of the what?
Conception.
Annunciation. Sharon, in film, which actress and singer played the role of Breathless Mahoney in the 1990 film Dick Tracy?
Madonna.
Correct, Stuart. In world geography, what sea is a large city in northeast India and the capital of the state of West Bengal?
Calcutta.
Correct, Jeff. In the animal kingdom, what is the name of the only mammal that is capable of true flight?
Don't know.
Bat. Sharon, in literature, Catch 18 was the working title of which famous Joseph Heller novel?
Catch-22.
Correct, Stuart. Which British actor received a posthumous Best Supporting Actor BAFTA nomination for his role in Gladiator?
Oliver Reed.
Correct, Jeff. In the animal kingdom, which animal has the scientific name Panthera leo?
Black Panther.
The lion. Sharon, which S is the official language of both Kenya and Tanzania?
Swahili.
Correct, Stuart.
Bank.
In 1957, in which Italian city were the treaties signed to establish the European Common Market?
Rome.
Correct, Jeff. In British geography, in which island group are Stronsay, Westray and Hoy?
Hebrides.
Orkneys. Sharon, in film, John Who starred as Fred Flintstone in the 1994 movie version of The Flintstones?
Goodman.
Correct, Stuart. In Formula One, in which South American country would you find the Interlagos racetrack?
Brazil.
Correct, Jeff. In
Bank.
science, what is the branch of Earth science that uses physics to study the planet?
Cosmology.
Geology. Sharon, who became King of Spain following the death of General Franco in 1975? Time's up. The correct answer is Juan Carlos. And you banked only £150. Now, in round 6, you get the chance to triple what you bank, and that means in the next round, potentially, there's £7,500 to be won. The question is, who has screwed up the most? Who is least likely to help you raise that bank balance? It's time to vote off.
The statistics show that Stuart is the strongest link for the 3rd time. Jeff failed to answer any of his questions correctly, making him the weakest link. But at this crucial stage of the game, what factors will the players take into account as they cast their final votes?
Voting over, it's time time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Jeff.
Jeff.
Sharon.
Stuart.
Yes,
Doing well still, isn't it?
not too bad.
You look a bit frightened, Stuart.
Well, it's your personality, Anne. That stern, strict personality.
Has Jeff been a disappointment to you?
Well, I'm afraid there was really only one way to vote this time, and it was Jeff. He got most wrong, so no tactics involved there, just pure arithmetic.
Sharon, why have you voted for Jeff?
Well, I thought he was the weakest link in the round before as well, and I think he just got so many wrong, and I had nothing to bank, and I just really wanted to bank, and I had nothing.
It is a wonder of the world that someone who's doing a postgraduate degree in geotechnical engineering doesn't know the difference between geology and cosmology. I can say to the rest of you that he has answered more questions incorrectly than correctly, and no wonder he's still a student at 36. With 2 votes, Jeff, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
It would have been nice to win the money, but unfortunately it wasn't to be, and I was the weakest link. I think Sharon will win because I think she has the better knowledge, but I'd prefer it if Stuart did.
Round 6 so far, you've won £4,000 out of a possible 12,500. Sharon and Stuart, only 2 of you left, and this time you have just 90 seconds. But whatever you win in this round will be tripled and added to your total to make up your final prize money. So £7,500 is at stake in this round. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Stuart. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Stuart, in religion, according to the Acts of the Apostles, who ascended into heaven at the Mount of Olives?
Jesus.
Correct. Sharon, in film, which 1990 movie starring Julia Roberts and Kevin Bacon as medical students experimenting with near-death experiences?
Flatliners.
Correct. Stuart, name the author of In Memoriam, who became Poet Laureate in 1850.
John Masefield.
Tennyson. Sharon, which Shakespeare play features a performance of the tragedy Pyramus and Thisbe?
Tempest.
A Midsummer Night's Dream. Stuart, in sport, which famous footballer was given the freedom of the city of Newcastle upon Tyne in March 2001?
Alan Shearer.
Correct. Sharon.
Bank.
In geography, in which country of the UK is the cathedral city of Brecon?
Yorkshire.
Wales. Stuart, in American politics, who defeated Bob Dole and Ross Perot in the 1996 US presidential elections?
Bill Clinton.
Correct. Sharon.
Bank.
In rugby league, which Yorkshire club is known as the Bulls?
Pass.
Bradford. Stuart, in professional English football, how many leagues are there above the 3rd division?
3.
Correct. Sharon.
Bank.
In TV, who is the famous daughter of Days of Our Lives star John Aniston?
Jennifer Aniston.
Correct. Stuart. In music, which English composer wrote the opera Peter Grimes?
Benjamin Britten.
Correct. Sharon.
Bank.
In literature, in which century did Thomas Hardy die?
20th.
Correct. Stuart. What was the surname of Sergio, the Italian director who made the 1966
Leone.
West... Correct.
Bank.
Sharon. In history, what is the name of the famous battle of the Second World War in which... Time's up. You banked £450 in that round, which will triple and add to the winnings from the previous rounds. That means total prize money this evening of £5,350. But of course, only one of you can take that money away, so now you will be playing against each other head to head. I'll ask alternate questions, best of 5. Whoever answers the most correctly wins. It's as simple as that. If there's a tie after 5, we'll go for sudden death until we have a winner. So, Sharon and Stuart, for £5,350, let's play the weakest link. Stuart is the strongest link in the last round. You have the choice of who goes first.
I will, Anne.
Stuart, Harvey Keitel played the character Winston Wolfe in which 1994 film?
Reservoir Dogs.
No, the correct answer is Pulp Fiction. Sharon, which subject did Tony Blair study at Oxford?
Economics.
No, the correct answer is law. Stuart. What was the name of the US Army officer who commanded Operation Desert Storm in 1991?
Colin Powell.
No, the correct answer is Norman Schwarzkopf. Sharon. In food, from the milk of which animal is mozzarella cheese traditionally made?
Buffalo.
I'll accept buffalo, water buffalo or buffalo. Stuart. In sport, what was the nickname of Eric Moussambani, a swimmer from Equatorial Guinea who took part in the 2000 Olympics?
Eric the Eel.
That is the correct answer. Sharon. In the famous story by Dumas, the companions of D'Artagnan's 3 musketeers were Athos, Porthos, and who?
Aramis.
That is the correct answer. Stuart. In TV, Captain Troy Tempest and Atlanta Shaw are characters in which 1960s children's program?
I'm going to have to pass.
The correct answer is Stingray. Sharon, if you answer this question correctly, you've won, so for £5,350. In which Gilbert and Sullivan operetta do the characters of Nanky Poo and Yum Yum appear?
Pirates of Penzance.
No, the correct answer is the Mikado. Stuart, you need to answer this question correctly to stay in the game. In the USA, who, in 1996, became the first woman ever to hold the post of Secretary of State?
Janet Reno.
No, the correct answer is Madeleine Albright. That means, Sharon, you are today's strongest link, and you go away with £5,350. Stuart, you leave with nothing. Join us again for the weakest link. Bye.
I can honestly say that I think the best person has won. Hard lines to Stuart, but at the end of the day, someone's got to win it.
I think probably the second best player won, obviously after myself, having only got one wrong all the way through to the final, but when it came to the final, she knew more than I did, and so she won the money.
I am still in shock. I only ever entered for a laugh, and here I am a winner.